Let's learn about the bones of the shoulder, arm, and hand. The shoulder, arm, and hand are part of the appendicular skeleton. The shoulder consists of the pectoral girdle, which includes the clavicle and scapula. The clavicle is an S-shaped bone that connects to the manubrium of the sternum and the acromion process of the scapula. Here is a posterior view of the scapula. Here are the medial and lateral borders. The spine is a ridge of bone which ends at the large acromion process. Above the spine is the supraspinous fossa. Below it is the infraspinous fossa. Here is an anterior view of the scapula showing the acromion process, coracoid process, and glenoid cavity or fossa. Let's examine the humerus next. Here is an anterior view of the humerus. We can see a ridge of bone called the deltoid tuberosity. Here is a close-up of the proximal portion of the humerus, showing the head, anatomical and surgical necks. Here we can see the greater and lesser tubercles and the groove between them called the intertubercular groove. We can see the lateral and medial epicondyles, as well as the trochlea, which connects with the ulna, and the capitulum, which connects with the radius. There is also the coronoid fossa. Let's look at the ulna and radius next, which make up the forearm or antebrachium. Here is the ulna. Here is the radius. Some landmarks on the ulna include the olecranon process or elbow and the distal styloid process. Some landmarks on the radius include the head, radial tuberosity, and styloid process. The hand and wrist consist of the carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. Let's take a closer look at the carpals. The carpals consist of two rows of bones. The proximal row includes the scaphoid, lunate, triquetrum, and small pisiform bone. The distal row includes the trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, and hamate. The finger bones are called the phalanges. There are proximal, middle, and distal phalanges in the fingers, but the thumb only contains proximal and distal phalanges. We hope you have learned something about the shoulder, arm, and hand, and see you next time.